director tried to ask the question that why are Ghanaians on tones every election year? And I will go back to what my professor, Professor Sado once said, that to move out of the poverty cycle is to get educated. That but the easiest is to get into politics. And I can see this happening. Because most of the youth who forms part of the 65% of the population between 50 to 35 years are not content with what they have. And once they get to believe that to move out of the poverty cycle, as Professor Silento said, would indirectly mean that we are all not content. The youth, we are not content with what we have. But we feel that moving into politics, like Director said, some even say they don't care die for a political party. That's really a cause for worry. We need to tackle poverty levels to be able to tackle this challenge. Thank you.
Very good. When we did the dialogue, I think that is one of the key drivers that came up. Thank you so much. We move to the gentleman here.
Thank you. My name is Mohammed Abdul Salam, the Northern Regional Secretary for the NDC. My question goes to Director NCC, who made a very beautiful presentation. And what is your statement that for elections to be credible, transparent, and peaceful, it must be based on law. Law being a body or set of rules that we have agreed and set to govern ourselves with. What happens if a returning officer of a constituency so engage through the legal processes to work, and then he or she, same evidence is found against such a returning officer to be actively a member of a political party, where same rules requires of the Electoral Commission upon a petition to act. What happens if the Electoral Commission shuts its door on such a petition? Will it be another ingredient for peaceful election? That's one. Second one is, if the law requires that transfers are only open for students and security agencies, and then a returning officer so employed through the processes of law is found to have opened a window to transfer people who don't fall within this category, and evidence is provided to the EC, and the EC takes a decision to reverse these transfers, and a political party finds such a returning officer not to be fit for the job, and petitions for same to be taken action against because he's not playing according to the rules, and the EC decides not to act on same. Could we be operating these elections on the basis of law? These are the three questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll hold on. Let's give our panelists the opportunity to answer the questions that have been raised. Then we move to the next, please.
Thank you very much. The first questioner wants to know whether the NCC doesn't have or doesn't present a budget. We do. And you remember in the course of my presentation, I called on all of you, including the eminent persons on the high table, that it is time we stopped giving our democracy lip service. Democracy must grow and its growth depends on a whole lot of things. Resourcing institutions to work. It was not out of anything that in the wisdom of the architects of our constitution, a body like the National Commission for Civic Education was established to help grow our democracy. What will be the use of our commissioners if they don't present budgets, if they don't request? The politicians are simply not interested in being supported. The vehicle that I'm using, the patrol, was given to us by the former Dr. Mr. Bahumedu. Look at the time, up to date, not a vehicle. So you see, I don't know, but I want to end it here. It's unfortunate. We have the men and women who can go round through the world. But of course, they have a limit. You can't ask them to go walking, doing civic education. No. We need the state to adequately fund institutions that have been established. We are not the only ones. SHRAG is there, National Media Commission is there. They need to be funded. See, the former American president, Thomas Jefferson, said that if the people are well educated, then democracy is better served. Because when you educate them and they know what the issues are, in election year, you wouldn't be sitting here and talking about how we can get peaceful election, because they would have been sufficiently educated. You go to certain places, look, one guy was telling me that, look, he was quoting a French author that I'm familiar with. Now look, I live on good soup, not fine words. I live on good soup, not fine words. You see, that was something I caught very well. And that means that we need to continue to talk to people, to engage them. You see, you don't change people's attitude during only election year. It should be continuous. Attitudinal change must be done continuously to get people to accept the democracy that we have given ourselves. Right now, go around, you see people taking money. Well, me, I will vote only when you give me money, because even those I voted, I don't see their use. So I'll take the money and vote for you. Is that democracy? That's your democracy. So democracy, when democracy becomes for the highest bidder, then we should be concerned. All of us should be concerned, including the UN. We should be concerned. The second one has to do with the law that Mr. Salam asked. You remember in my presentation, I talked about the circumvention of the law. All the laws that you have talked about, yes, they are there. And that is why I said that state institutions, statutory institutions that are working to ensure that we have free, fair, credible elections must be seen to be fair in words and in deeds. They should not, be wobbling in scenarios where there are just some small things that they need to explain. They should do what they're doing without fear of favor. So if one electoral officer or one something police officer or something like that decides to condemn the law, I will only talk about it. But it's not in my power to get it fixed. It's wrong. What you have said is wrong. It should be condemned. And it will not in any way bring about peaceful election. When issues like this come up, all of us, the political parties, all of us, civil society, must condemn it. That is the only way we can get free, fair, peaceful election. Thank you.
I think all the questions have been answered. Thank you so much. So we move to the next batch. We want to plead with all of you. If you look at the program, we have the second panel taking off after here. We're looking at our time. The time is not too good a friend now. So we are likely to break for some 40 minutes and come back. So the next batch, 3, then we allow them to answer. Please, the first one, yes. We'll move to him next. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm also for Apuna and Patrick. The issue here is the misinterpretation of the constitutions of Ghana. Somebody commits a crime. The police did their best sending the person to the court. The legal practitioners are not interpreting the constitution in the right direction. My observation. Because then when the judge raises an issue, another legal lawyer will say objection. When the judge is following the constitution, when the police personnel follow the constitution and prosecuting the person, lawyers go to say objection. That is encouraging non-democracy. The second thing is that there's a statement I've brought in this literature books together. When things fall apart and we are no longer at ease, we would like to get freedom to know the iniquity can no longer enter.
With my question, I want to spare the panelists and then move to the political parties. I want them to make a comment on this. We are talking of peaceful and incredible elections, but there's this perception that our political parties have created in the minds of Ghanaians and in the youth in particular, where we are made to believe that it is only in politics that you don't need preparation to do well. You don't need to use your brain, but you need brawn to be able to do well. To the extent that there's this comment that has been made, and I think if I say it, people would begin to understand where I'm coming from. Where a political party executive has said, if we win elections and then you go to any office and they ask you for a certificate, slap the fellow who is asking for the certificate. In other words, we have made the youth to believe that with politics, you don't need preparation. It is the only profession that we don't need to prepare to do any job. I just want you to comment on this. Because it is not just about the ACC or Peace Council or the Electoral Commission, but the political parties also have a role to play. What do you say about this comment that we have planted in the minds of our youth? Thank you very much. I will not ask them to comment on this. If you look at the program, there's a panel discussion for the next panel session, and they will take it up from there. So please, you can take your notes down when you read you respond. I think our first questioner, it was just a comment. Yes, just a comment. We have our High Court judges here. We thank you for your presence. And I hope you took notes of what is this. So thank you so much for coming. Reverend Chair, Your Excellencies, I think, with your permission, we'll break for 40 minutes. We'll resume here exactly at 10 minutes to 2 o'clock. We don't have time, please. So we will resume our seats 10 minutes to 2 o'clock. Barely 40 minutes, we are done. Let us come back quickly and continue. We have a lot to do, and we can't afford to lose even one. Thank you so much. So you pick coupons at the gate. There will be somebody at the entrance to give you coupons, to give you licenses to enter into the restaurant. Thank you.